If you've ever tried to break a bad habit, you probably realize that sheer willpower just, well, it usually fails miserably.
No, absolutely. It is exhausting.
Right. Welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at a Christian devotional text called Talking About Jesus. And it actually claims that trying harder is the completely wrong approach.
Yeah, it offers a really fascinating perspective on human attention.
And just to be clear right up front, our mission here is to act as impartial guides. We aren't here to endorse this theology, but we want to unpack its concepts so you can fully understand the source's perspective on focus, temptation, and, communion with God.
Exactly. It's about understanding the mechanics of how they view human desire.
So, okay, let's unpack this. The central premise here is basically praying for the grace to keep your eyes fixed on the beauty of Jesus rather than worldly temptations.
Right. The core logic is pretty profound. It's the idea that whatever holds your focus holds power over you. So to understand this emphasis on spiritual focus, we first have to explore what it says is pulling that focus away.
And the way this framework describes temptation is, honestly, it's incredibly modern. It talks about the serpent's deceitful whisper, doubt, confusion, half-truths.
Yeah, making disobedience appear totally harmless.
Right. It's not some loud, cartoonish villain. It treats temptation exactly like a highly optimized social media algorithm. It feeds you these microscopic hits of pride, ambition, or comfort.
It's the modern distraction economy.
Exactly. And the text argues that temptation basically tricks you into thinking you know better than God.
Well, what's fascinating here is how it reframes those divine commands. Because a lot of people assume rules just exist to restrict joy.
Oh, totally. Like arbitrary hurdles meant to make you miserable.
Yeah, but this text argues they are protected guardrails. They are actually meant to protect the individual and lead to an abundant life.
Okay, but I have to push back a little because just knowing the algorithm is rigged against you doesn't actually stop you from doom scrolling. How does this text propose overcoming these subtle traps if willpower doesn't work?
So it proposes a complete shift in perspective. It argues that by truly seeing the goodness and holiness of Jesus, the attractions of sin actively lose their power.
Wait, really? So they just lose their grip on you?
Basically, yes. It's a psychological mechanism of displacement. You can't just empty your mind. You have to fill that space with a superior desire.
Oh, I see. It's literally overwriting the code of the lesser temptation.
Exactly. And the text uses the cautionary example of Adam and Eve for this. They traded lasting fellowship for a temporary pleasure.
Right, and the fallout wasn't just a broken rule, it was shame and separation.
Yeah, so to avoid that same trap, the text breaks down very specific antidotes to this kind of dissatisfaction.
Like what? What are the practical antidotes?
Things like practicing gratitude, trusting God's timing, and crucially, specifically avoiding the trap of comparing your life to what others possess.
Oh, comparison is huge. I mean, think about your own daily routine for a second. How much time do you spend comparing yourself to others?
It's a major vehicle for that deceptive whisper. But recognizing that people will still struggle with these comparisons, the text moves to practical application for daily life.
Right, especially regarding prayer, because it says prayer shouldn't be a duty.
No, not at all. It's framed as the honest conversation of a child who feels safe in the presence of a loving father.
So it's about continual communion over just checking off a scheduled chore.
Exactly.
And there's a really crucial instruction in the text for when a person fails. Because, failure is sort of assumed here. Instead of hiding in shame, the text urges you to confess, receive forgiveness, and return with humility.
It's a system intentionally designed for restoration. Ultimately, the goal of the source is using Scripture to test every desire and treasuring God's presence more than anything the world offers.
So regardless of your personal beliefs, this leaves us with a really compelling thought experiment. Based on this text perspective, if you look at your daily habits, how many of your everyday, seemingly harmless choices are actually subtle tests of faithfulness?
Yeah, how often are you being asked to choose between temporary comfort and lasting focus?
It definitely forces you to look at every tiny daily distraction in a whole new light. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.